Hey guys, welcome to the video for 10.3. This will be the last of our customary measurement videos, I believe. And this one we are talking about customary weight. Make sure in your math notebook that you put your title and page number in your table of contents as well as on this page. And like we've done for the last two videos, we're going to start by defining what weight is so that we know what we're working with. I'm sure you guys all have a pretty good understanding of what weight is. We know it as how heavy something is. But scientists would have a little bit different definition for it. And even though we're not talking about science, this is really good connecting between those two subjects. Scientists talk about weight as being how much gravity pulls on an object. So gravity, we know, is what keeps us to the earth, and it's pulling us toward the center of the earth. We feel it as a downward force, but our weight is matched by how much gravity pulls on us. That's why when we go to the moon, where there's less gravity, we weigh less, because gravity's not pulling quite so much. So, neat little science fact for you there. Let's get back to math now, converting between units of weight. Let's start with writing down what the customary units of weight are. Okay, this one there's only three. There are ounces, which is abbreviated OZ like we saw in 10.2, but this time we're not talking about fluid, we're not talking about liquid. Capacity really talks more about liquid stuff. That's why you heard gallons and fluid ounces and cups. We usually use those to measure liquids. Weight usually is used to measure how heavy something is or how much gravity is pulling on it. So an ounce, if you think about a big paper clip, that usually weighs about 1 ounce. So you probably have worked with these names of units before in science, working with a balance, kind of like when we made trail mix in the middle of the year. We used a balance to figure out how much weight we had measured out, right? So we have ounces, which is just OZ, not fluid ounces this time. We have pounds, which is abbreviated LB. Don't ask me why. I've always wondered that too. But pounds is LB. And then tons is a capital T. Okay? And for this one, there's only two conversions, so I'm just going to go ahead and put them on here. 1 pound, whoops, I was about to write PD instead of LB. One pound is 16 ounces. And then 1 ton, you ready for this? If you don't already know, it might surprise you. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. There's a lot of pounds in 1 ton. But that's all we need to know as far as converting goes. And without further ado, let's do a little practice with converting. The same thing that we've been talking about in the last two videos applies to units of weight. When you convert, you have to know which unit is bigger and which unit is smaller. And that's going to help us know if we're supposed to multiply or divide. And just to see if you remember here, when converting from big to small, what operation do we do when we go from big to small? Do you remember? Remember, there's fewer of these and lots of these. Lots of littles and a few bigs. What operation is going to give us lots of things? Multiplication. So when converting from big to small, multiply by the smaller unit's base number. And we've talked about that base number term there. That would be, going back here, the base number would be the conversion. Here, ounces is smaller than pounds, so that base number for ounces is 16. There's 16 ounces in 1 pound. Okay, so let's do a little exercise here. If I have 40 pounds, and I want to know how many ounces that is, I know I'm going to have to multiply, because I have big to small, which means there's going to be a lot of littles. 40 times, and then how many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. 40 times 16. Let me change color real quick. 6 and 0 make 0. 6 and 4 make 24. Lay a dinosaur egg. 1 and 0 make 0. 1 and 4 make 4. Adam. 0 and 0. 4 and 0. 2 and 4. So, 40 pounds is 640 ounces. Remember I talked about there being a lot of littles? There's a lot of littles in 40 pounds, huh? All right. Let's go on to, oops. Maybe. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, let's go on to when you convert. Maybe. No, it's not drawing. Here we go. When converting from small to big, lots of littles make few bigs. Which operation is going to give us fewer of something? Division. So we'll divide by the smaller unit's base number. We always look for the smaller unit's base number. Mostly because if we look back at our conversions here, give me just a second to get back there. It usually just goes into 1. Here, 1 big is 16 littles. 1 big is 2,000 littles. So most of the time this answer over here is going to be 1, which is why we use the smaller unit, if you were wondering that. Okay, so to do an example here, if I have 6,000 pounds and I want to know how many tons that is, going from small to big, I'm going to divide, whoops, by the smaller unit's base number. Let's go back and take a peek at that. Between tons and pounds, pounds are the smaller unit. The base number is 2,000. And you're probably thinking, yikes, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? 6,000 divided by 2,000, that's going to take forever. Well, maybe not. Let's look at this. 6,000 divided by 2,000. I seem to recall us talking somewhere kind of in the middle of the year about crossing out matching zeros. I see some matching zeros here. Let's get rid of those. There's a matching 0, there's a matching 0, there's a matching 0. Now all I have left is 6 divided by 2. I can do that, right? What is 6 divided by 2? Put it in there. Put it in your notes. It's 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 6,000 pounds is 3 tons. Okay? For this one, I don't think there's going to be any two-step problems, so let's go ahead and launch right into our book questions here. Get it? Launch. Rocket on there. Hee hee hee. Okay. From here, let's do a couple examples in our book. They want us to convert 4 pounds into ounces. So they want to know how many, oh dear, how many ounces are in there. I don't know how that happened, but this is what we're looking at. There we go. So we start with our pounds because that's the number we know. 4 pounds into how many ounces? Between pounds and ounces, we have to know which one is the big one, which one is the small one. Are we going big to small or small to big? Okay. So if we look at pounds and ounces, who's the big one? Pounds. So whenever we go from big to small, that means we're going to have lots more of these than the number we start with. Which operation gives us more of something? Multiplication. 4 times something will give us our total here. And if you flip to the next page, up at the top is your table, or you can look at the one that we just put in our notes. But how many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. So 4 times 16. You can work it out real quick up here. 4 and 6 make 24. 4 and 1 plus 2 makes 6. 64 ounces. Alrighty. Let's go on to the next page here. I think the only thing we need to worry about right now is this table that we already looked at a little bit. Let's go down to number 1. Okay. This right here is an image of 1 pound, and we can see that each of these guys in here, there's 4 down and 4 across. 4 times 4 makes 16. So that means these guys in there must be ounces. Use the picture to complete each equation. So we're going to use this. 1 pound is how many ounces? What did we just find? 16. 2 pounds. So if I copied this and I pasted it below it or beside it, now I have 2 of them. How many ounces would be in 2 of them? Remember, when we go from big to small, we times, because we're going to have a lot of littles, by the base number of the smaller unit, which is 16. 2 times 16. Work it out if you need to. This is what I got. Okay. And then go ahead and finish filling out C, D, and E. 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, how many ounces for each of those? Okay. The questions for the rest of these are just like what we've been practicing. If we look at number 2 really quick, we're going 15 pounds into ounces. If we follow the same pattern that we were just looking at up here, big to small means I multiply. And here's that base number, 16. So 15 times 16, 6 and 5 are 30. 6 and 1 plus 3 is 9. Dinosaur egg. 5 and 1 are 5. 1 and 1 are 1. Add them up. 240 ounces. Okay, so you're doing the same thing that we've just done. Flip all the way to the back page. I want to just draw your attention to something back there real quick. On number 6, it says, what is the best estimate for the total weight of these cold meats? This word estimate, use benchmarks. That's half, 0, or 1. Okay, good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next video.